Yeah, it's true.
To make an effort.
We're going to start the class now. So
Okay. Mute कर दे. Mute कर देना.
तो कौन अपनी कहानी बताना चाहता है? कौन किसका सर मुस्लिम के अंदर डाले हम? Come on, own up. कौन volunteer हो रहा है?
मेरे ख्याल में शकुंतला बहन को कुछ कहना चाहती है। शकुंतला बहन।
हाँ, कौन शकुंतला जी? अनम्यूट करना पड़ेगा आपको। नहीं कर देते।
नहीं? Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you start. You had a good day today, so let's find more about you as well. That'll be nice. आपने आज बहुत क्लास बोल किया morning में very nice. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I'll do it again if you want me to. You know,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was born in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, and came to Britain in 1967 after the independence. And then from 67 to 71, I completed my
nursing practice.
Yeah, my education. And then in 71, I started my nursing career. It was in we lived in Ashton-under-Lyne, where my brother is now. And I started my nursing in Oldham District General Hospital. And I was there until 1975. Then came to London, got married and came to London and worked in various hospitals in London over there. And then bought a house and came to Kent, Ashford in Kent, in 1983. Referring to now Swamiji, we had no knowledge of yoga when we were in East Africa. We haven't been brought up, we've not been educated about, yoga at all. I don't know, because not having a religious family, we didn't take very keen interest in any religion activities, but we did, but not a lot, not very deeply, So yoga wasn't there at all. I sort of heard about it, but when I got married and we went to India in 1985, we went to a conference somewhere, I don't know whereabouts in India. My uncle took us, and we went to this conference, and it was all about this, it was ashram. And did a conference about this. They're talking about yoga and all, they were, discussing about yoga, but I couldn't understand. I didn't understand at all, but we were the only, they were all people from India or from all over the state, and we were the only one from other countries, you see. So we stood out, So the guru or Swami, the one who was giving the lecture, he was, because we were right in the middle of the, in the middle row, he was always focusing on us, because we couldn't understand what he was saying. But I remember he came, we got a whole video of him when we need to find him what he was saying. But I remember he kept putting his hand over here, and he keeps saying, Atma, 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 and I think he was referring to third eye, but he talked a lot about it. But it just coming out, hearing from one ear and coming out another ear, I just didn't understand what it was, And then when we came out, we were just looking at all the books. So he came to us and asked us, about us, where we're from, and did I understand anything? And I said, no, not at all. So he explained everything to me and my husband. And then we got lots of books on yoga, and we read about it, but still there was no, didn't register about yoga. And then we got a cousin who he's an Ayurvedic doctor in India. He came to England as well, and he talked a lot about Ayurveda. He keeps saying, you mustn't take all these medicines, and you do this and you do that. And I told my brother as well, Thakurbai, and we also sort of, because we didn't have very much knowledge about Ayurveda, we didn't take notice of him, But now we understand why he was telling us. And then I think in 2004 or 2005, I think when Baba Ramdev, I think he came alive, didn't he? I think during that period. And I remember that he was, everybody was talking about him. You know, there's a Baba Ramdev with a big beard, you know, and then he said to everybody to do their nails if they want a nail growing. And I just remember from that, you know, everybody started rubbing their nails and talking about him and everything. But we don't know what, you know, what was all about, you know. And then it was in the newspaper, you know, Indian, I think it's called Gujarati Samacha, that my mother-in-law, you know, used to read a lot, and she read a lot about him. And she was telling me about him, that he is doing this and he's doing this exercise and everything. And then I'm not sure whether he was on Asta, but I've seen him doing a lot of exercise. Well, I don't know when did he start, you know. So I started doing some exercise with him as well, you know, and I said, oh, I can do all this, because we used to do this in East Africa. Because when I was in East Africa, I was a head girl in the school. So I had to go and learn all the exercise that I'd done, you know, jogging, everything. I used to do all that. Every morning I had to do that with the girls, you know, we had to learn. All the head girl has to do the training first and have to do it in the class, you know. So when Baba Ramdev was doing it, and I said, oh, I can do all that. So I started doing some of that exercise as well. And I was doing the hull, you know, the halasana. I used to do a lot, you know, with him, you know. And I practiced a lot as well. But when I had a back pain, I slowed it down a bit. And then I think then my husband started reading about him, and he went on YouTube as well. And then because he was saying that if you do Alanam, Vilanam and Kapalbhati, you can cure any disease, you know. So my husband had a uveitis, is inflammation at the back of the eye. And he started that in 1977 until 2007, because he was told by the eye doctor specialist that it will never be cured. And he got to continuously have to have eye drops. And if he flares up, he got to have antibiotics. So he's been having that, you know, and he was getting really fed up because, you know, it was affecting his work as well. So when Baba Ramdev said that, so he started doing yoga, and he used to get at 4 o'clock in the morning. So 4 until 5 o'clock in the morning, he used to do every day. And then he used to go to work. And by 2000, he started in 2007. And he, within a year or 2 years, he's cured it, you know. I don't know, 2006 as he started, yeah. So by 2007, he went back to the doctor, and doctor said, you know, your eye is clear, there's nothing there. And he was very, very surprised that he never required eye drops since then. So from 2007 until now, he has, you know, his eye is completely clear. You know, he can see even his eyesight is still remained the same for last 2-3 years. He hasn't had to change his lenses as well. So that, you know, that's a, you know, good result from his yoga practice. So I mean, I started doing a lot of, I was doing more physical, because I've always been, you know, been a nurse, and I was very active, you know, so I did a lot of physical exercise. I did very little of the, you know, pranayama. Yeah, but I started, I think it's 2014 or 15, I started doing that. And before that I started, but because I was working full time, I couldn't, you know, have a lot of time. And then when I become part-time after 2015, I started doing more. I used to spend half an hour doing both the pranayama and everything, and did all the physical exercise as well in the morning, just to drop my husband, you know, to work. And then I did all the exercise when I was home alone. And that, you know, then it was all right until then. I think then I faded away for a little bit for some. And then Thakurbai started involved in Baba Ramdev, and he was telling us all these activities that he attended. He did the yoga, and he said how good it is and everything. And he encouraged the whole family to to go to attend the, is it Parivar?
Milan.
Milan, yeah,
Milan.
yeah. So I think most of us attended it with all the brothers and sisters. We did, I did the last one in Croydon, and then he said to me, he said, do your yoga training and then, become a teacher, So I said, well, I don't think I can, I've been doing a nursing and having, all these odd hours working, but as I'll try. And then, then I, like 2019, when carry on. But when 2019, when I had that episode of acid reflux, I was very, very bad. I mean, I always had a pain in my back, very sharp pain behind it. The doctor said to me, I had a lot of acupressure and acupuncture and everything, but it's all to do with the muscle. He said, because I'm hardly relaxed. And because I don't know how to relax, we're very, very active and you get, very agitated sometimes. So he said to me, all my muscles are very, very tight and that's causing a lot of pain, So when 2019, when I had that acid reflux, it just went worse. I just pain everywhere, all my chest and everything. I just could not breathe. I rang Takoba, this is what's happening to me, and then I was crying. I don't know what to do. And so I went to the doctors, and doctor said they did all the tests and everything, and there's nothing wrong with it. He said it's all to do with the stress. I think I was more anxiety because we are in a lockdown with the COVID-19. I thought I got it, but I didn't have any symptoms of COVID or nothing like that. But because all the pain was on my chest and the back, couldn't breathe properly. But it was nothing it was all anxiety. And I've got a lot of pain,
Mamani, I think what you had was IBS, irritable bowel syndrome due to stress.
Yeah.
And that causes a lot of gas in the stomach, and that causes all the hyperthermia and the palpitation and everything else.
But my doctor did everything, but all the results.
IBS is very difficult to diagnose sometimes.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's what they said, but but there was no signs of that.
Okay.
But anyway, when I rang my consultant, he told me to get it tested, so I did all that. But my consultant in a neonatal unit, he's Indian. He was from India, and he's a yoga man. He always done yoga in his life, and he said to me when he said to me that all my results were normal, he said, start doing yoga regularly. And I said to him, I said, I already started before that, but he said to me, no, you got to do it every day, stick to it. So then Thakurbai came to rescue, and he said to me, just ring Sarvanji, he's on a Facebook. So he sent me the link, and then you came to my rescue as well, so then when I first time I went on it, I just wrote a message that any treatment for reflux, then you send me the list of all the things what I need to do and everything, so I did all that. So I think the yoga play a very important part, during my illness. So I did all the exercise that you were doing 3 times a day. I did it in the morning with you. When I woke up in the morning, I started doing pranayama in the morning, and then I did it with you in 9:30, whatever time you were doing it, and then I did it in the afternoon for a short period. Then I did it in the evening, the whole thing in the evening as well. So I continued doing that. Acid reflux was in May, so I did it, for the rest of the year, but by July, first week in July, I was completely asymptomatic. I stopped all my medications, and doctor was very surprised. He said to me, how did I manage to do that? Because normally when you're on acid reflux, they give you a medication for 1 year, and then you gradually, come down. Yeah, they increased my medication from 1 tablet to 2 tablets, but I myself, because I was feeling better, so I took it. I just did it one tablet a day, and she was really, really shocked. Then he said to me, then I mentioned Sarvanji's, name and everything else. I did the yoga and everything. They were really, really shocked. And I didn't go back at all to the doctor about my acid reflux. I'm completely cured. And I continue to do that now every day, you know. Well, I've been with Sarvanji, you know, since I started on Facebook. I haven't missed a day yet, you know. But you know, it's I just recommend that, you know, you carry on. This is what the Baba Ramdev has done to, like, you know, everybody. I watch on the Asta television as well, you know, a lot of programs, and listen to him and what he says. You know, first I didn't like, you know, I don't know about anybody, but because he had a beard and all this, I didn't like the look of him, you know. And when my husband was watching it and everything, and then I keep saying, no, I don't want to see him, you know, I can hear him, I don't want to see him.
Also, a lot of people don't like it because he looks more of a religious guru rather than a yoga guru, you know, so that kind of might be.
That's right. But then I told my sister as well, you know, because he's doing all this exercise and, you know, wasn't very much involved with, like you say, religious, then I took more interest in him, you know, because I think he was doing something good for the people, you know. So and this is how I come to, you know, believe in
like me, what's happening is sometimes people by the look, they put them in certain compartments, but they don't like it. But the problem is, whatever he is, end of the main purpose is to promote health. He might look the guru, but it's not. He's kind of. It's not. He doesn't believe in God, and you know, believe in God, but he doesn't believe in kind of statue God and all that. He believes more in just the Ari Samaj. He's Ari Samaji, and that's why he does Havan and all that, and does you know purify. If you go to your gram or any place there, all these centers have Havan every morning. With all the people sit around and they do all
around, see, no, see all that.
On just that month, they keep doing Havan day after day. That's what they do all the time.
Yeah, we learned very little about all this, you know, religious thing, arti and all that. I don't know all of it by heart, you know, but because I've been involved with the local, you know, our community with the Navratri and all that, so I learned a lot since then, because I have to organize, well, I have to go and set up the mandir and do all the, look after the prasad and, you know, so meeting all the people, so you know, then, you know, he's got more involved. So I know some of the arti now, you know, by doing all this, but now I have introduced a lot of people, you know, pass your link to a lot of people about yoga. And I told the girls when I went for the meal last week with the girls from work, and I said to them, so I'm going to do a training, then I'm going to get everybody from work to give them you know, lessons, and if I have the book, then I can sell the book for you as well, you know, give it to everybody over there, you know. So
you can promote the books, like sell them, and then if they write to me, it saves you double posting, you know, because of the COVID-19 just now, it's difficult to hand them out, kind of idea. But that was a lovely story, and good. Now I got to know you much better than before. No, thank you very much for that. Lovely inspiration, lovely journey through the life from Dar Islam. How did you come across? And obviously, luckily you took over your health. Yoga is the way to learn to love yourself. That's what you've done now. You're not looking after more interest in yourself first before you look after anybody else.
But Hakuba might be able to give more detail about Africa, because I was only 15, you know, so you know, it's like when you're a teenager, so you just remember what you know, your school days and, you know, your friends and what we used to do, all that, you know. But like when I was in Africa, I was very active, you know. I used to climb the trees and, you know, sort of, you know, jump over the walls and things like that, you know, because we're very, very skinny, you know. I was always been very, very skinny. I think until 1983, I think until 1983, I was only about 7 stone. You know, I never put on any weight, you know, because I can lose easily, but you know, I can't put on very quickly, you know. But when I was losing weight, I had a phone call from Sarwanji, you know. He said, don't lose any more weight. He was a bit worried, you know.
In case the wind blows, you'll blow your way.
That's true. Yeah, I was. Even my son was saying, please don't go any lower, because I went down to 48 kilos from 56, you know. So it was quite a lot, you know. But I put it back. I'm between 50 and 51 now, you know. So because, stay inactive now. So I just stay like
So
that.
what's your BMI just now?
Oh, I haven't
I've done it. Only
checked that.
just the weight in kilogram divided by height meter square. That gives
All
you.
right, yeah.
Good to
So
know that anyway.
I'll work
Also,
it out in a minute. Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be between probably 18 to 20, 22 to 25, 20 to
Yeah,
25.
I think it's, yeah. I have got on my mobile, the health
Yeah.
app, so I do, but I haven't done it recently. So because sometimes I say more, my mother used to say to me, say, more you weigh, more weight you lose sometimes, if you're worried more, So she used to tell me not to weigh myself a lot, because I never put on, I was always been skinny, and Takoba used to he used to hit me there. My mom used to say to me, said, "Oh, don't do that if you kill her."
No, but I like to weigh myself. I like to weigh myself every morning. Then I know I'm not putting up. I have a tracksuit always. So tracksuit, you can't tell you're putting on weight. So you take your weight, then you can tell your weight's going up and down. Then you can take a proper action.
Yeah.
Otherwise, weight goes up very quickly. You don't realize that suddenly you gain 4 or 5 kilo, and that makes it difficult to lose.
Yeah, it is sometimes. Yeah, no, I'm sort of keeping it, steady now. Be careful, try not to put too much, now.
I think it'll be nice to also hear from Takuba and add some more to the story of her sister, to tell us more about her. Anything you know.
I don't know.
You are the adult. You're the father figure, so you probably know more about her, more all the goodies, kind of idea.
I think there are lots of things which even I didn't know. Which I'm hearing first time.
That's good.
That's not true.
Yeah, because when the family is there, you have to look after everybody. And my father's job wasn't that good, and he has to sort of run around all the time to find job. And I was also struggling, and all these my sisters and brothers were all studying, and I was in my last standard, and I have to come 1 o'clock from school.
We're losing the audio, Taco.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, because so because the big family, we had to struggle a bit, and after my school time.
How many brothers, sisters you were then?
Anybody else lost audio?
Sorry.
It must be her side. It must be her side.
I think problem is in your side, I think.
Is it?
We can hear you all right.
Can everybody hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can all hear you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I think all this. I got four. We have 4 brothers and 5 sisters.
Big family.
Big
like
family.
a typical. Even my dad was 6 brothers and 1 sister. It's all big.
Yeah. Well, we were. I was in India, and I came to this country came to Africa in 1947. I was born in a town called Supa. It's also called Supa Kurel or Supa Gurukul because there was a Gurukul there. And the place I was born, that was our ancestors' house. And the house was small, so the big family with my uncles and everybody was staying there. So we were given a place in a small house just in front of the other house. And that house was just a front room, and the back room was used by cow, and there were 2 buffaloes. So I was born in that place with the cow and buffaloes, and so from there I stayed there. In 1947, we came to Bombay, and from Bombay we had to take a big ship to come to Africa. Yeah, something like that, Mombasa and.
More likely Mombasa. That's what most good went.
Yeah, come to Mombasa. Yeah, and at that time, 1947, there was all this problem of Hindus and Muslims. There was all struggle going on, and my father took me to hairdresser, and he was the hairdresser there was a big hat, the hat the English people used to use big hat, yeah. So I looked at the hat and I said, "What's that?" The hairdresser said, "That's a hat. You want to wear it?" Because I was just young boy, 6, 7 year old. I said, "Yeah, I want to wear it." So he put it on my head and he took some pictures, but I don't know where the pictures are. But after that, when we came out, this rioting was going on. So one of the chap whom my father knew, he was a Muslim. So he said, come with me. He said, hide in my house and nobody will bother you. So we hid in his house. And in the morning we came out and we took my mother, and then the three of us went on the ship. So that's in 1947 he came to Africa, and then we started. Our father got a good job, and unfortunately one day he fell down and he broke his hand, and he was out of job. And everybody went back to India. I stayed back, and that's how going back to India, coming back to Africa, this thing was happening. And when they came back, Mani and other sisters joined the girls' school, and everybody started studying. I was the only one who was looking after them with my father. And after a few years, when I finished my studies, I started working in an architect's office. And when I first joined the architect's office, the architect told me that, look, we haven't got any experience. You can join in, but I won't pay you anything. So because I have to teach you, so I won't charge you, but
Architect कौन था? Indian आदमी था क्या?
Indian था Vanya था.
इसीलिए वो पैसा लेने का.
So I said, okay. So I joined the very first day. He gave me a job to do, which was make a plate, name plate. So I said, you make this plate for me. इसमें writing लिखना था. So I went back home. I asked my father to do the plate, a timber plate, and I started working on it. And I did nicely the plate, and I took it. It was written Eleonora Scroider, entrance round the corner. ये लिखना था. So I took the plate to the architect and I showed him. So he looked at the plate and he saw everything, and he said that, did you do this? I said, yeah, I did that. So he was pleased, and then he tried to check whether I've done it correctly or not. क्योंकि हमारा जो lettering जो है ना alphabetical lettering, इसमें O, S, C वो जो है, they are slightly bigger than normal letters. So he wanted to check whether I've done it correctly or not. So he put a little ruler on the lettering, and so tried to look at whether I've done it. So all my O's and S were slightly bigger. So he was very pleased. So I said, you know something, so I think I'm going to give you. So very first month, he paid me 150 shillings as my salary. फिर उसने bicycle दी, गाड़ी दी. I was sort of head man there looking after. Eventually, I was looking after about 20 people as an architect. So that's how I got trained over there. And then I came to Africa and I started working in an architect's office. Lots of things happened there. And when first time Baba Ramdev came, I think he came, he performed in one of the football ground in Bolton. He did a session there.
That's right. Bolton. I was there.
Yeah. So somebody told me, because I never heard of any yoga guru or anybody. So I just ignored that, I said, somebody said, come on, let's go. We have to go early morning at 5 o'clock on the ground to do the exercise. So I said, I can't manage that. I have to go to work. So after a few days, when the session was over, Baba Ramdev came to our temple in Ashton. So one of the members rang me in the office. He said, Babaji is coming to our temple. So I didn't know what was happening. So I said, Babaji is coming. It's a temple, so obviously Babaji will come in the temple. So why I should come over there? So I didn't realize that, I said, all Babaji comes to the temple. So when Babaji came over there, and I went there, and I was sitting there in front of him. And at the time, it was a lunch time, so he was having some fruits, etc. And I didn't realize that somebody took the picture as well. And I'm using that picture for our poster in our temple. And after that, he had a meeting in Bolton. I went to see him. I think that was after that Babaji came to do the Camry Island. That was his second visit.
Yeah. He came in 2008 in Camry Island. That's after.
So
well after.
I was there in Camry Island as well at the time of inauguration and the Havans and everything. I didn't meet him there. I was very near to him, but I didn't meet him there. But when he came to Bolton again, I met him there, and he was just going away, so I just stopped him. And I talked to him and I said, then I mentioned that about Ganga Talao in Kamri Island.
Sure.
And I just said, बाबा जी मेरे को पूछना है. तो बाबा जी ने मेरा हाथ पकड़ लिया. तो बोला क्या पूछना है बोलो. तो मैंने बोला कि ये मेरा एक सजेशन है आपको, आपका कमरी आइलैंड तो जाए है, तो हमें इसका वी हैव गॉट ए फीलिंग दैट जैसे मॉरिशस वाले ने गंगा तालाब में पानी डाल गंगा तालाब बनाए, तो हम भी कमरी आइलैंड में क्यों नहीं गंगा तालाब, इंग्लैंड में गंगा तालाब बने तो सभी खुशी होगी. तो हाथ पकड़े में हंसने लगा. तो किसी ने वही फोटो मेरा खींच लिया, तो वो फोटो मेरे पास है. सो दैट्स हाउ आई फर्स्ट केम इन कांटेक्ट विद बाबा रामदेव. एंड इसके बाद तो फिर I started running this yoga class in our, not actually yoga class, it's an exercise class, which is run by Dr. B. Patel. He was running this class, and he said, come and join me. And I joined the class. And this is how I got involved with yoga, and gradually got in touch with Darshan Lal, and came to arrange this, our teacher training in our hall.
That's right. It's the first training there in Manchester yourself.
Yeah, and I had an opportunity to invite you into my house and have a couple of nights with me. So that was quite a pleasant experience for me. And then gradually it's all going on now until now. So that's how I got involved with yoga. Yeah.
Excellent. No, very, very nice to know all that. But to artists keep coming in. What's wrong with them? If anybody wants to ask any question to Maniji or Thakurji, anything, any point you want to clear, or any question you're asking?
Or somebody can tell their story. Sheetal ji have.
Then leave that some for tomorrow because time is 8 o'clock holiday.
Yeah, yeah.
Time's not there just now. And really, it's good to know the Maniji and Thakur Bhai Kahani, but it's quite inspiring. And because we all went through struggle. Because when you travel, you leave your own home place to go somewhere else, then you have to struggle. Even my dad, when he came here with £5 in his pocket to London, he was a doctor, professional, but still, it was first 4 or 5 years was quite a big struggle. If you said your salary, you go, how much money did you get, Thakur Bhai? First salary?
150 shillings.
Okay. I got, when I graduated, and I had to wait 6 months. I passed with honors. After 6 months before I got my first offer, they gave me £2,700 a year salary as a civil engineer to build a hydro scheme in Dinoic power station. Then when he saw my honors, he said, you have honors. So they gave me 3,000. They said, I'll increase the salary to £3,000 a year. And I built my first job was the Dinoic power station, Snowdonia Mountain, where you can still go in there. It's a pump storage scheme. It's all underground. So you can't see from outside. Everything is inside the mountain. Where the night time, when you don't use the electricity, we pump the water from the lake below all the way back up. In the morning, when you're making tea and coffee and kettles are boiling, then you pump the water back down again to produce electricity. It's like a pump storage scheme.
Is that the Snowdonia mountain right on the top of the hotel?
That's it. That's where
I've climbed that mountain.
Yeah, you can go on the train as well, and you can climb as well. That's right. Because I stayed there for some time and used to do the work, travel from Glasgow. The company, son James Williamson partner, they designed the whole power. I was like a assistant engineer to the main guy. So I was doing all the drawings and all the things, all the designing and everything else. That was my first project. And also I met Prince of Charles twice. Once I was building a Wales in Crumlin to Aberbeek next to Cardiff. 18 million project, building mountain roads in the mountain and retaining walls and things like that. So he came to opening, so he gave us I saw him there. 3 times, in fact, also for Snowdonia Mountain, we won the prize for the best, like a conservation area design of the power station. And third was in Waverley Station, Edinburgh, when they were doing the travel center. One of the engineer was on holiday. That time I used to work like a freelance. So they gave me offer for 2 weeks. Within the first day, I saved them 35 grand in temporary works. So they kept me for the whole duration of the contract for 6 months. and used to travel from Glasgow back and forth. But that's what life is. Life is, you a lot of opportunity comes. You have to take it with a pinch of salt. And obviously, most Indian people we are hard worker. Especially when you come to foreign land, any knowledge we don't have, we make up with hard work.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what brings us success. All of you, not just me. What I'm saying is, I'm really, I can see the same thing. Everybody I see here in front of me as well. You all have been through a lot, but the younger generation, people who are our son, grandchildren, they had it easy. They already have a platform to build up, and that's why a lot of people who came here should drive buses, save money. Then they bought a shop, they save money, and then children now are becoming doctors, engineers, and all professional. So, which is good. It really makes me feel proud to be part of that generation kind of idea. And obviously, they should appreciate the older generation who came here first, did all the struggle, and now they're getting the fruit of the labor. Now, all the younger generation,
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Really, thank you. That was lovely experience today. I really enjoyed the talk today with Maniji and Sagar. Thank excellent very much. Tomorrow we'll do the same thing again. So please volunteer somebody beforehand, so it'll be easier to not to put people on the spot. Is that fair enough?
They can speak in Gujarati as well. They can speak. Yeah. Gujarati ma bolwani tamari story badai.
Yeah.
It's good to, I'm thinking in between mixed language, some English, some Hindi, some Gujarati. So like in between we can add 1 and 1 make 11.
Sheetal, your turn is tomorrow. Your turn is tomorrow.
Yeah, Sheetal, let's Sheetal be very quiet. Might be good to know. I'm sure she's got a lot of good story to tell.
Yeah.
Is it Kirti Ben? Sorry, Mrs. Shah and the Kirti. I don't know the first name.
A lot of people put the camera off just now. They're listening.
Yeah.
I think Kantaben.
Kantaben.
Oh, Kantaben.
That's Kantaben. Yeah. That's one with Mithai Wali.
Mithai Wali. Tamare par tamari story kale karwani hai.
My so simple story.
कोई बात नहीं. जैसे आप हिंदी में, गुजराती में, इंग्लिश में जिसमें बोलना
में, स्वाहिली में जय और बदू कर देवानी, खिचड़ी कर देवानी.
ज्यादा गुजराती बोलेंगे तो समझ में नहीं आएगा. थोड़ा बहुत मिस करना पड़ेगा.
कोई बात नहीं, जो भी है ना. अच्छा है ना कि सभी को जाने तो अच्छा है.
नहीं, अच्छा है. इससे जानकारी हम लोग दूसरे के बारे में बढ़ रहा है ना. At least we know how much hardship we all went through, and especially for female. But like my mom, when she came first time here, she didn't know English at all. She couldn't go outside, and she was locked in the house, kind of sense of kind of can't. And then she went to first job to make chocolate factory, where she used to wrap Cadbury chocolate in the thing we hand, and she did that. Tried to walk one step further, save 10 pence on the bus. My father was doctors. It's still that time. My doctor's salary wasn't that big. They usually get 2,000-3,000 per year kind of salary. That's what doctor's salary that time. But they have more respect that time. Even when you work night duty, the nurses will come, clean his shoes up, give him breakfast, make him, everything. It's like they were like a kind of God. People used to appreciate it. Now that's gone. Now that culture is no longer there. What they went through before, obviously, that's not that's. I'm not saying this is not the right thing. What is happening now is probably they're not God. They're just people like me and you. Just they have more knowledge. They have learned. Like I'm a civil engineer. If I wanted, I could be a doctor. Luckily, you're all lucky. I'm not a doctor. Because for the doctor, God save the queen. No, I needed a foreign language. I didn't have a foreign language. That's why I became civil engineer. That was my second choice. My father wanted me to be doctor as well. I could have been doctor, but just I didn't have a French or German. He needed some foreign language to go into medical university.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go into that. So thank you very much again. Have a lovely evening.
Thank
that was a nice
you.
talk. I really enjoyed
Thank
it.
you, Saravanji.
Thank you.
Yeah.
श्रवण जी वन क्वेश्चन यार,
बोलिए वर्षा जी.
वो एसिडिटी होता है ना जो मनी बेन ने बोला, वो तो मैं लांजोप्रोजल लेती हूँ एवरीडे.
Omeprazole, yeah.
हम हमारे पास मानी से बात करो. मानी सब उनको सब इन्फॉर्मेशन है वो आपको पास कर देगी.
Yeah, Maniji, I really like to know how did you get rid of your acid reflux and all that.
I can because the time is short. I can put my number and you can call me on the chat. Yeah.
Yes, I would like to know as well because I've got the same problem.
Oh, okay. I'll put my number on it. Yeah.
You're going to put it now?
Yeah.
Oh, I better put it in my notes. 1 minute. Just a second before it switches off.
Which exercise and what to do, what, you know,
6.
sometimes it's very bad and then turn into the headache and migraine.
07962.
That's what happens when you
You want to speak loudly. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay. No,
Just 1 minute. Upar.
it just go on the chart. Chart upar I just put it
Chart
on.
upar nathi chatu. Boltu naam number.
Manishi, why don't you do a presentation about your experience and how you did?
Money is not came in a chart. Can you say please?
what we'll do is 1 week we'll do a session on acid reflux. That's what we do all the pranayama, asana, all
Yes.
the what to do and things. That might be the best way of doing it.
Money, it didn't come in a chart. Can you say loudly so I can just
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. 0796
yeah.
0797.
07963
Mhm.
Yeah.
26
Mhm.
5830.
Okay. And what's the best time to call you?
I'll call anytime, and then if I can answer it.
Oh dear.
07963265 830.
830. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Remember, Mali, that's going to YouTube now. So you might
I
get
know.
obscene-
That's why I was
you
going to
might
tell
get
you.
you might get obscene phone calls, so be careful.
That's why I put it on the chart. You see, I was going to tell you to stop recording. You know, don't put that on.
No. I'm just kidding you. Nothing even like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can give you some.
Sarvanji, you can take a one class for that acid reflux.
Yeah, we'll do that.